In this video, we're going to quickly understand what are the factors affecting India's climate. Now, generally speaking, I'm not just talking about India. There are 6 major components that controls the climate of any place. They are latitude, altitude, pressure and wind system, distance from the sea, ocean currents and relief features. Let's understand each one of them. The first one is latitude. Due to the curvature of the Earth, the amount of solar energy received varies depending on the latitude. That's why you'll see the temperature decreases as we go away from the equator towards the poles. This is the equatorial region, from Tropic of Cancer in the northern hemisphere to Tropic of Capricorn in the southern hemisphere. There's another name to it called as tropical zone or torrid zone. As we go further away, we have the temperate zone or the temperate region. This is the area lying in between Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere, and in the southern hemisphere it is between Tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic Circle. Now this area has a pleasant climate. That's why you will find most of the tourist destinations in the world located at temperate regions. As we go even further away, we have the frigid zone. It's cold freezing out here. This area is in between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole in the northern hemisphere, and in the southern hemisphere it is between Antarctic Circle and South Pole. So these were all the latitudinal changes that affects the climate of a place. The second factor is altitude. Altitude means height. The more you go above the ground, that is from the surface of the earth to higher altitudes, the temperature decreases. Because the concentration of air molecules decreases, we also call it as thin air. That's why when you go to hill stations, it's cool out there. The third factor is pressure and wind system. By pressure we mean high and low pressure system. Always remember, air moves from high pressure to low pressure area. The best way to understand this, I have given this illustration before, so I'm going to use it again. Switch on the AC in your room and leave the door open. You will feel the cool air going out of the room, and this is because the environment outside your room is warm and it's attracting the cool air molecules towards it. Hence, by this example, you can also understand this. Landmass gets heated faster than water bodies, and due to that, a low pressure zone is created at the land surface, which attracts cool air molecules from the sea or ocean, causing rainfall and changes in the temperature. The fourth factor is distance from the sea. Now, if you are residing at coastal areas, you will notice there is hardly any change in the weather condition. I mean, you will be constantly facing the wind from the sea, so there isn't going to be much differences in the weather condition. But as you move away from the coastal areas towards central part of the landmass, you will start to witness extreme weather changes like very hot during summer and very cold during winters. This condition is known as continentality. The fifth factor is ocean currents. It is a continuous movement of ocean water from one place to another. Ocean currents are created by wind, water temperature, salt content, and the gravitational pull of sun and the moon. Generally, there is 2 types of ocean currents, cold and warm currents. You can see them in this picture. The red arrow indicates warm currents and the blue one are cold currents. If you notice, most of the warm currents are near the equatorial region. That's where the sun rays falls directly and are found in abundance. So the theory is these warm and cold current influences the local winds of the nearby landmass and causes change in the climatic condition. For example, with warm currents, the landmass face warm and humid climate. And the last factor is relief features. In geography, the meaning of relief is typical high and low lying areas like mountains, plateau, plain, deserts, etc. High mountains act as barriers for cold or hot winds, just like we have the Himalayas that protect us from the cold chilly wind of the Arctic. And it is also due to these mountains, precipitation takes place. One such example would be the mountains of Western Ghats that lie in the path of the rain-bearing southwest monsoon winds. So these were the 6 factors that affects the climate of India, not just India, any place on earth.